Hello students, let us start our social studies class. So, you all know that the earth is surrounded by a thin layer of air called the atmosphere. Just as there are layers inside the earth, there are also layers in the atmosphere. These layers heat up or cool down and interact with the top layer on the earth's crust. This causes changes in the temperature of a place. That is why we sometimes feel cold and sometimes hot. We often interchange the words weather and climate. Actually, we don't use the difference between these two words, weather and climate, when we use them actually. But there is differences between these two terms. Let's find out what are the difference. Okay. Actually, weather is the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere at a place with respect to the temperature, humidity, wind, speed and rainfall. It tells us how hot, cold, dry, wet, stormy, clear or cloudy a place is. Weather condition at a place can change over very short periods of time. It may be sunny in the morning, rainy in the afternoon and windy in the evening. Some days may be hotter or colder than the other days. Weather affects our daily activities. For example, a sunny day is ideal for picnic, but whereas a rainy day is not. We used to stay home in those days, in rainy days. So we are in the chapter. We are going to learn the chapter 16, Climate and Us. Here we are learning the chapter Climate and Us. Here we learn about the climate mainly. Now I am telling you what is climate. I am telling you already. I told you that what is weather, and now I am telling you what is climate. Climate is the average weather condition of a place for a long period of time actually. For example, 30 years. It is different at different places of the world. It may rain throughout the year in some areas of the world, while some areas may be dry almost the whole year round. So these are the main difference between weather and climate. That is, weather describes the atmospheric condition of a place over a short period of time, but climate is the average weather condition of a place for a long period of time. And now I am telling you how climate affects our life. Actually, our lives are significantly affected by the climate of the region that we live in. In summer, we wear cotton clothes because they are cool. In winter, we wear what type of clothes? Yes, woolen clothes to keep ourselves warm. We eat ice creams and sit under a fan in the summer, while during winters, we drink hot tea and cover ourselves with warm quilts. The climate of a region also affects the kind of plants and animals that inhabit the area. Our housing is also impacted. People who live in areas that receives a lot of rain have houses with slanting roofs, whereas people who live in dry regions have houses with flat roofs. So everything from our home, our clothes to our food and lifestyle is affected by the climate of our region. And there are many factors that influence a place, and actually that influence the climate. Factors influencing the climate of a place. These are latitude or distance from the equator. Firstly, latitude or distance from the equator. These are next. That is altitude, distance from the sea, and humidity and rainfall and directions of winds. So there are 5 factors actually. Latitude or distance from the equator, altitude, distance from the sea, humidity and rainfall, directions of winds. These all are the factors which affect the climate of a place. So, firstly, I am telling you about the latitude or distance from the equator. The sun's rays heat up Earth's surface. The places located on or near the equator receive direct and vertical rays of the sun. But as I move away from equator and towards the places, towards the poles, the rays become slanting. Thus, the places closer to the equator are hot and the places closer to the poles are cold. Next, I am telling you about height above the sea level. The height above the sea level is called the altitude of a place. The temperature at higher altitude is lower than in the plains because the temperature decreases as the height of the land increases. So, is it clear? Yes. Now, I am telling you about distance from the sea. The distance from the sea determines the climate of a place. Places near the sea have moderate climate, that is neither too hot nor too cold, whereas places far away from the sea have extreme climate, that is very cold in winter and very hot in summer. This is because climate of coastal area is affected by land and sea breezes. And next is humidity. The water vapor present in the air is called humidity. It is one of the main reasons of rainfall. The amount of rainfall influences the climate of a place. Places near the equator are humid, so they receive plenty of rainfall, and the climate is hot and wet. On the other hand, deserts being dry receive little or no rainfall, and places with cold climate experience snowfall instead of rainfall. Now I am telling you about directions of winds. Horizontal moving air is called wind. Hot winds increase the temperature of a place while cold winds decrease it. The winds passing over water bodies carry moisture and bring rain to the places they blow over. India is affected by seasonal winds known as monsoons. The southwest monsoon winds bring rain from June to September, and the northeast monsoon winds bring rain during December and January. So, these all are the factors which affect the climate of a place. And in our next class, I am telling you about different climatic zones. Okay, so till our next class, bye.